2 months later, Chen Luo and his group finally returned to Blue Star. This time, Chen Luo planned to lay low for a few decades before venturing out again once he achieved godhood in the time domain. He then asked Snake Mother how to purify the pollution. Upon hearing this, Snake Mother reassured him, "Don't worry. Although my method isn't exactly purification, it has a similar effect. Let's get started now." She then transformed into a snow-white serpent and opened her massive mouth, unleashing a powerful suction force that began to draw in the fragmented dark laws, which were absorbed into her mouth like dust. A look of pain appeared on Snake Mother's face, alarming Chen Luo, who quickly asked Huang Yao, "What's happening to Snake Mother? Is she in danger?" Huang Yao replied with a bitter smile and a shake of his head. "It won't threaten Snake Mother's life, but dark laws are not something trifling. As a result, Snake Mother won't be able to comprehend any new laws for the next few hundred years until she fully digests this dark curse. I didn't expect Snake Mother to go to such lengths for you." Hearing this, Chen Luo heaved a long sigh. "I owe you one for this. First, you helped me save my home planet, and now you've devoured the dark laws for me. Your friendship is something I deeply value." Meanwhile, elsewhere, Time Trace received thrilling news. The third prince of the Volsea Empire had announced a purchase, offering 2 billion purple crystals for a time system crystal. Additionally, the seller would be granted a hereditary earldom in the empire, along with a 20,000-year lifespan grass as a reward. Time Trace was overjoyed, knowing there had been a time system presence on Blue Star. Although it hadn't been found in their last search, he was certain Chen Luo knew about it. "All I need to do is inform the third prince. He will naturally come looking for it. When that happens, how will you deal with it? I might not be able to handle you, but the third prince, with 6 laws, is not someone you can contend with. Is this the power of karma? Lord Violet is awesome." With that in mind, Time Trace quickly set up a tunnel to the Volsea Empire and informed the prince of the time system crystal. The third prince's eyes lit up upon hearing this. "Are you saying this Chen Luo knows of the time system crystal?" Time Trace affirmed, "Absolutely. There's a native on Blue Star who has mastered time stop, and that's one of his subordinates." Upon hearing this, the third prince declared, "If the information you provide leads me to the time system crystal, you will certainly be rewarded." After Time Trace left, the third prince muttered to himself, "Had Time Trace not said it himself, I would hardly believe someone could acquire 2 laws in 5 years. You better be sensible. I'm curious to see just how far you'll go and whether you're truly more talented than I am." Following the information provided by Time Trace, the third prince issued an order. "If Chen Luo is seen within any planet governed by the Volsea Empire, he is to be brought to me. Additionally, send 2 divine-level individuals from the Empire to Blue Star to see if they can find him." Meanwhile, Snake Mother finally finished clearing all the pollution for Chen Luo. She hoped silently, "I hope this young man remembers my kindness and protects my offspring after my life ends." Then, she gave Chen Luo the World Tree Seed, along with cultivation methods and several notes written on paper. "Now that the matter is resolved, I must return to oversee my children's training." "We shall meet again," Snake Mother solemnly stated. Huang Yao also expressed his need to leave. "I have to go back and find a match for my daughter." "I can't stay with you, brother. By the way, have you considered my daughter?" Chen Luo immediately declined Huang Yao's offer and expressed his gratitude, emphasizing that since they all had important matters to attend to, he wouldn't hold them back. At that moment, Rice came over and whispered, "Chen Luo, come with me." She then stressed, "We need to leave." Surprised, Chen Luo asked, "Why leave? I was planning to go into seclusion here on Blue Star." Rice gravely informed him, "Someone is looking for you. You can't hide anymore." At this, Chen Luo's face darkened. "Who is looking for me? Is it Time Trace again?" Rice shook her head. "All I know is that it's a very powerful, divine-level individual, and he already knows the coordinates of Blue Star. We can't stay here any longer. I sense someone powerful orchestrating this. Intend on bringing you harm. Now, you have 2 choices. Either we leave now and find somewhere else to lay low and grow, or we face the situation head-on, while the latter has risks. It also has significant benefits. I can hide Blue Star from fate for about 100 years. But after that, I won't be able to use this method again immediately. Blue Star will still be very dangerous then. Therefore, you need to become stronger within these 100 years to protect your home." Upon hearing this, Chen Luo immediately responded, "Then why don't you just hide the Blue Star now? We can stay hidden here without going anywhere." However, Rice replied, "We can only leave temporarily. With my current ability, I can't hide a planet that contains a divine-level entity. My suggestion is to enter the fray. This will be greatly beneficial to you. I used to sense some advantages, but I have suddenly realized it's getting harder to sense your fate." Hearing this, Chen Luo's bladder shivered, nearly terrifying him. "Does that mean you won't be able to warn me in the future?" Rice spoke indifferently. "I just can't sense it clearly. I can still detect if you're in danger." Relieved, Chen Luo sighed. "That's good. Then I'll follow your advice and choose to enter the fray." Watching Chen Luo's retreating figure, Rice mused to herself, "Fate is constantly changing. I didn't expect him to comprehend the third law so quickly, surpassing fate. He's become someone I can't grasp. Fortunately, things are progressing in a better direction." Chen Luo couldn't understand why people kept troubling him at Blue Star repeatedly. First, it was Time Trace. Now, another mastermind appeared. He wondered if the person behind Time Trace, as Wang Yao mentioned before, was the same as this new adversary. Pondering, he asked Snake Mother and Wang Yao, "Who is behind Time Trace?" Hearing this, Snake Mother and Wang Yao exchanged a look and then gravely said, "We indeed know the answer to this question, but we really can't reveal it. If we do, we'll be in big trouble. You don't need to look for this person's identity. She isn't intentionally causing you trouble. After striking once, she won't attack you again unless you provoke her." Wang Yao added, "I don't mean to underestimate you, brother. But even if you have comprehended all the spatial laws, it's best not to seek her out. It's better to pretend you don't know." Just then, the demon tree suddenly came running over, shouting loudly, "Chen Luo, you heartless man. How long has it been since you fed me?" But as soon as the words left its mouth, the demon tree sensed the presence of the world tree. The bloodline suppression immediately filled it with overwhelming fear. Hearing this, Chen Luo retorted sharply, "How am I heartless? Haven't I fed you enough corpses?" Upon hearing this, Wang Yao also quickly declared his loyalty, shouting, "Who the hell are you cursing? Try saying that again." The demon tree, feeling slighted, pointed at the seed of the world tree on the ground and cursed, "What is this, if not heartlessness? You found a new love and tossed me aside. Your old love, right?" Chen Luo remained unfazed. "We were in a partnership. Now that it's over, get lost." This response infuriated the demon tree, who retorted, "Fine, you heartless wretch. Burning bridges after crossing, is it? I'll fight you." And with that, it launched its ultimate move, Giant Vine Entanglement. But as the vines were about to bind him, Chen Luo swung his hand, and a dimensional blade instantly split the demon tree in two. He muttered to himself, "Good riddance to this troublemaker, lest it attacks humans when I'm not around, Blue Star." Previously, Chen Luo was forced to leave due to the threat from Time Trace, taking all his members with him away from their homeland. But this time, without such dangers, he didn't take everyone with him. After bidding farewell, he once again visited the trading planet he'd been to before. The previously purchased swine beasts and some delicious creatures were mutated upon being transported to Blue Star. So, he wants to buy another batch to send back to Sudaju and the others. As he strolled the streets, he noticed a video playing on a screen atop a shop. The Empire was offering 2 billion purple crystals for a time crystal, promising the title of hereditary Earl and a longevity grass to the seller. Shocked, Chen Luo exclaimed, "Time crystals are worth that much? 2 billion? I've never seen so much money in my life." Just then, Sentai contacted him. Surprised, Chen Luo quickly asked, "How did you know I was here?" Upon hearing this, Sentai smiled slightly and said, "Little brother, wait right there for us. Richard and I will be there soon. We've got something good for you." Shortly after, the two arrived in front of Chen Luo. Richard spoke with a smile. "Little brother, the third prince has summoned you. I'll give you the coordinates. You can teleport over there." Chen Luo, curious, immediately asked, "Who is this third prince and what does he want with me?" Sentai replied, "We've just received the order ourselves and don't know the specifics. It should be something good. Perhaps the third prince is interested in your teleportation abilities. Otherwise, he wouldn't have invited you so courteously." Upon hearing this, Chen Luo fell into deep thought. Rice mentioned a powerful divine-level entity looking for me. It's very likely this third prince. He quickly inquired about the third prince's background from the two. They were quite forthcoming and shared all they knew. The third prince is a divine-level entity with 6 laws of the Fire series and is the most talented member of the Volsea Empire's royal family. He is very likely the next ruler. Hearing this, Chen Luo solemnly said, "Since you both put it this way, I'll meet this third prince." He then teleported to the planet where the third prince was located using the coordinates provided by Richard. Upon arrival, a servant immediately approached him courteously and said, "You must be Chen Luo. The third prince has been waiting for you for a long time." Chen Luo was then ushered into the grand hall, where the third prince wasted no time in instructing his servants to brew a cup of enlightenment tea for Chen Luo. This tea greatly aids in comprehending laws. I usually don't partake in it myself, but for Brother Chen's visit, of course, I must offer my best hospitality. Actually, I've invited you here because I need a favor. I've heard you possess a time crystal, and I wonder if you might part with it. Chen Luo was initially taken aback, thinking to himself that this must be about Zhang Chushui and how the Budwa family likely relayed this information to the prince. He knew he couldn't deny it outright and thought to make an excuse. "I indeed have a time crystal, but I've already implanted it in my brain. It's probably irremovable now." The third prince smiled. "No matter if Brother Chen is willing to part with it, what has been put in can also be taken out." Chen Luo's expression darkened at the thought. "He really wants to open up my skull." He replied with a forced laugh. "You really have a sense of humor. Brain surgery is far too dangerous." The third prince, maintaining a friendly demeanor, assured, "No worries. I have professionals in the Light series. Your life won't be in danger. Just bear with it a little." Chen Luo waved his hand dismissively. "I'm really pain-averse, and I'd like to use the time crystal myself. Perhaps your highness should look elsewhere." The third prince's smile vanished at Chen Luo's response, and he sized him up as if evaluating prey, then said coldly, "Your answer makes things difficult for me." Already frustrated from being forced to leave Blue Star, Chen Luo was incensed by this and flipped the table in anger. "If your highness finds it difficult, then don't bother with it." The third prince looked at Chen Luo in disbelief. "If you were cooperative, I would have ensured your safety and been curious to see how far you could grow. But now you've lost that chance. I've never seen anyone as foolish as you." Chen Luo smirked dismissively at the third prince. "Well, now you have." However, as soon as he finished speaking, the third prince's body suddenly erupted with 6 different colored laws swirling furiously around him. To his surprise, Chen Luo didn't attempt to flee immediately after the confrontation. Seeing this, the third prince wasted no time and teleported right in front of Chen Luo, declaring, "It's been a long time since someone dared to be so presumptuous in front of me. I'll take that time crystal of yours." Chen Luo scoffed. "I may not be able to defeat you, but I can make you go away." Spatial exile. Suddenly, the third prince found himself whisked away into outer space. Confused and incredulous, how is this possible? Spatial movement used on others? Without pondering too much, the third prince hurried back to his planet at high speed. Meanwhile, Chen Luo began his spree of looting, stuffing anything valuable into his spatial ability domain. He soon set his sights on the third prince's 2 maid servants. With a mischievous smile, he skillfully stuffed one maid into his snakeskin bag. As the other maid attempted to flee, he grabbed her like a chicken and stuffed her into the bag as well. Just as he was doing this, the third prince managed to rush back to his planet, expressing with a shocked face, "I truly underestimated you." But before he could finish his sentence, Chen Luo used spatial exile again, sending him thousands of miles away. Seeing so many treasures in the third prince's possession, Chen Luo was tempted by a wicked idea. The highest form of zero-cost shopping is to take whatever I see. Instead of picking each treasure individually, he used his spatial abilities to lift the entire palace from its foundations. As the third prince hurried back again, he was visibly frightened and threatened. "Stop right now, or I swear I'll kill you." Chen Luo, unfazed, made a grotesque face and mockingly repeated the third prince's words. "Your words make it very difficult for me." As soon as he finished speaking, the third prince vanished again, reappearing amidst the vast expanse of the universe. Utterly frustrated by Chen Luo's antics, he thought to himself in disbelief, "I am a wielder of 6 laws. Even if he can exile me to space, how can he do it so many times? I refuse to believe he can keep doing this indefinitely." With that, he returned to his planet, only to find that by the time he got back, Chen Luo, when even his palace had vanished, the third prince was so infuriated that he spewed blood. His attempt to capture Chen Luo had backfired horribly. Meanwhile, Chen Luo was already on another planet, whistling nonchalantly, thinking to himself, "So much for the 6 laws. He still ended up being handled by me. But now, I'll likely become a wanted criminal. But who can do anything to me?" As expected, it wasn't long before the Volsea Empire issued a warrant for Chen Luo's arrest. Shortly after arriving on a new planet, he heard an emergency broadcast blaring overhead, announcing a heinous crime against the third prince's palace. The broadcast declared, "The palace of His Highness, Third Prince Lei Sane, has been burglarized." The criminal took advantage of the third prince's absence to steal a substantial amount of property using spatial abilities. Moreover, the criminal has caused significant damage to the palace and brutally murdered two of the prince's maidservants. The villainy and shamelessness of these acts are chilling. The Imperial Guard has issued a Class S arrest warrant for the criminal. The third prince is both shocked and outraged by these events. A bounty of 2 billion purple crystals is now offered for the capture of Chen Luo. In that moment, every large screen on the planet lit up with Chen Luo's photo, marking him as a wanted man across the empire. Upon hearing the words, Chen Luo sneered, muttering to himself, "Is that what you call stealing? How uncool. I was obviously robbing, and right before your eyes at that, and those two maid-servants, I clearly didn't kill them." Chen Luo strutted down the street, immediately causing a commotion. People began to discuss fervently, "Isn't that the S-class fugitive? Quick, catch him." Another onlooker hastily intervened. "Are you out of your mind? Didn't you hear the announcement just now? This guy is a Tula divine level." As Chen Luo walked, he felt his stomach rumble, so he decided to find a place to eat first. Once his powers were restored, he planned to settle the score with Time Trace. He had no more concerns now. Huang Yao had told him that if he wanted to know who was behind his troubles, he had to ask Time Trace. Then, he arrived at a fried food shop and ordered several set meals. The shop owner's bladder shuddered with fear upon seeing the notorious evildoer, stammering, "I dare not sell you anything. You're a bad person. Doing business with you would get me shut down." At this, Chen Luo's face darkened. "What if I don't pay? That wouldn't count as doing business with you then, would it? Hurry up, dare you not serve me? Believe it or not, I'll kill you right now." Terrified, the shopkeeper hastily prepared 2 dishes and a soup. After eating his fill, Chen Luo prepared to leave to confront Time Trace. He dropped 5 purple crystals and departed from the planet. The shopkeeper was astonished. "I've worked hard for 10 years and couldn't earn 1 purple crystal. He isn't as brutally evil as they make him out to be in the news." Subsequently, Chen Luo began constructing a space tunnel. Meanwhile, elsewhere, a forlorn black robe arrived on the third prince's planet. Seeing this, the third prince smiled and said, "Black Spirit, you've finally arrived. How has your recovery been?" Upon hearing this, Black Spirit immediately responded, "As soon as I received your message, I rushed over. Thanks to your help, third prince, I recovered in half a month. The disaster still haunts me. I nearly died. If it weren't for the signal I sent out for your help, I wouldn't have survived." Meanwhile, Chen Luo had already arrived at Time Trace's planet. In a fit of rage, he yelled, "Time Trace, you bastard, come out. Weren't you very arrogant before?" The butler of Time Trace stepped out of the castle and retorted, "Who is this blind fool barking here? Do you wish to die?" As the butler looked up at Chen Luo in the sky, her bladder nearly gave out in fear, realizing, "Isn't that the S-class fugitive? What's he doing here?" She quickly suggested, "Lord Time Trace has stepped out. If you have business, you may enter and wait for his return." Without any courtesy, Chen Luo replied, "Then I shall do as suggested. Today, I'll collect some interest first." Saying so, he used his void-walking ability to enter Time Trace's home, only to find nothing of value. Frustrated, he thought perhaps all the valuables were carried away by Time Trace. Annoyed, Chen Luo decided to wreak havoc. "If that's the case, don't blame me for the destruction." At that moment, Time Trace was transporting materials for the reconstruction of Third Prince's palace. Suddenly, his communicator rang, and he saw that Chen Luo was vandalizing his castle. Though Time Trace wished to kill Chen Luo, he was helpless and furiously powerless. Yet, he thought, this might not be entirely bad. Perhaps I can profit from this. Without hesitation, Time Trace contacted the third prince, "The person you're after. I've found him. He's currently dismantling my home." This news invigorated the third prince. "What did I say? That guy loves to cause destruction when people are away. See, there's another victim." Upon hearing this, Black Spirit became furiously enraged. "Has this kid turned the world upside down? Daring to do such a thing to you? I'll go and take him down right now." The third prince gestured to hold off. "Not yet. Wait until we have gathered enough forces. Then we'll hit him hard." However, Black Spirit was insistent. "This kid is too arrogant. I can't tolerate it. We must teach him a lesson. Although he is adept at void-walking, he might not be able to escape my shadow assault." Upon hearing this, the third prince pondered for a moment, thinking, if Black Spirit's surprise attack succeeds, under the erosion of the curse law, Chen Luo's injuries will be difficult to heal. Once I gather more forces, killing Chen Luo will be almost certain. Then, he spoke decisively, then follow your plan. Proceed with caution. With the third prince's consent, Black Spirit immediately headed towards Time Trace's planet, shouting, wait for the good news. Meanwhile, after demolishing Time Trace's home, Chen Luo arrived at a desolate planet and released 2 maid servants from his snakeskin bag, named Nan Nan and Mang Mang. Nan Nan angrily said, are you courting death? We belong to the third prince. You dare to abduct us? Chen Luo chuckled. Are you silly? I just ransacked that guy's home right in front of him. Do you think I'd fear him? Before the two could fully grasp the situation, Chen Luo played a recording. The villain cruelly killed the third prince's 2 maid servants. He scoffed. Did you hear that? The third prince declared you dead. You understand the implication, right? Realizing the gravity of the situation, they quickly caught on. If the third prince has declared us dead, reappearing would contradict his statement. Seeing their realization, Chen Luo quickly proposed, how about you follow me from now on? I'll give you a day to consider. First, help me identify what these items are. He then handed them a box to examine. Mang Mang quickly identified it as blood fusion grass, a priceless treasure known to assist in integrating transplanted crystals. Chen Luo then discovered another treasure, enlightenment tea. They say it helps in comprehending laws. I didn't get to try last time as the table was overturned. To test its true effects, Chen Luo had them brew a pot. Mang Mang skillfully prepared the tea. After sipping it, Chen Luo felt as if his mind opened, his thoughts clearer. This indeed helps in understanding laws, allowing one to comprehend laws in a more ethereal state. Seizing this clarity, Chen Luo began to delve into another spatial defensive law. To his utter surprise, the fourth law actually came. Following that, a law flew straight towards him, beginning to remodel his body. This frightened Nan Nan and Mang Mang considerably. When Time Trace reported to Third Prince, didn't he say that he had comprehended 2 laws within a year? How come there are already 4? The two were immediately overwhelmed with unparalleled shock. This person's talent is too demonic. They murmured to each other. Then they began to mutter, why don't we just follow him? Serving anyone is serving, as long as we can live well. About 15 minutes later, the law remodeling was completed. Seeing this, Nan Nan and Mang Mang hurriedly stepped forward to congratulate. Congratulations, Master, on comprehending the fourth law. Upon hearing this, Chen Luo smiled calmly. Follow me, and I guarantee you'll have meat to eat in the future. This enlightenment tea is indeed precious. It really helps with comprehending laws. Do you know where this enlightenment tea comes from? Nan Nan immediately responded. I heard it was planted by some natural system big shot, harvested from a divine tree. It's very rare in yield and sought after by many. Chen Luo's eyes lit up upon hearing this. Who has the ability to plant such a divine tree? Nan Nan shook her head at this. I really don't know that. This can of tea leaves you got from Third Prince is his 100-year share. He really can't bear to drink it. Upon hearing this, Chen Luo was momentarily stunned. Let me find the tree. How much tea I pick or whether I uproot the entire tree will all depend on my mood, he said sternly. It's okay not to now. I'll just go and inquire about it. Meanwhile, inside the special ability space, Millie, who was absorbing crystals, suddenly underwent a miraculous transformation, advancing from sovereign level to demigod level. Seeing this, Raya's eyes lit up. She hurriedly presented the vermilion fruit to Millie, saying, Millie, you should eat this quickly. It's very beneficial for you. Millie nodded and began to nibble on the vermilion fruit. At this moment, Chen Luo felt the fluctuations from the special ability space and immediately opened it to enter. This action greatly frightened Nan Nan and Mang Mang. Can people enter the space too? Inside, Chen Luo looked at Millie with joy, although he was somewhat disappointed that she didn't ascend directly to godhood upon advancing to demigod level, unlike him. He thought, considering Millie revived over 1,000 people and only spent 12 years of her life, isn't that a minimal expenditure? Shouldn't that be enough to become a god directly? Then, Rice said in a deep voice, is there a possibility that Millie has a special attribute? Millie doesn't know any attacks, only healing types, and her effects are much better than others. Hearing this, Millie paused for a moment, then suddenly shouted, could it be that my sister possesses the law of life? I've read about it in Eisman's books. Upon hearing this, Chen Luo quickly picked up the book and started to browse through it. Soon, he found the relevant record. Above the light, there is an even purer law, the law of life. It is rumored to possess unparalleled healing abilities, capable of reviving someone even if only a drop of blood remains. Could Millie be a variant of the light? A life series? Since Rice mentioned it, Millie must indeed be of the life series. A smile spread across Chen Luo's face. What a streak of good fortune. Once Millie advances to divine level, even if I want to die, it will be difficult. However, at that moment, Rice suddenly spoke seriously. Chen Luo, have you begun to grasp the nuances of stopping time? I sense that you will soon master this skill. Chen Luo nodded in acknowledgement. Rice continued, you mustn't expose this ability for now. In about a month, a very important item will appear, crucial for Millie and indirectly a great help to you. Revealing your time-stopping ability now will make it difficult for you to obtain this item later. Chen Luo quickly inquired, what exactly is this item? Rice thought for a moment. It's an object similar to the vermilion fruit, but its effects are far superior. Chen Luo somewhat understood. Does Millie need to gain a significant amount of life force to advance to divine level? If Rice says so, then there must be a reason. He then exited the special ability space and instructed Nan Nan and Mang Mang to go inside as well. My special ability space is different from others. There's no need to worry about life safety. It has all the necessities. But just as he finished speaking, Chen Luo sensed a murderous aura nearby. Looking up, he saw two figures rapidly approaching him. They soon surrounded him, one on each side. And after closely examining Chen Luo, an excited smile appeared on their faces. Then, Big Baldy burst into laughter and said, Golden Claw brother, we are going to strike it rich this time. This guy is definitely that S-class fugitive. No mistake. Then Golden Claw fiercely shouted at Chen Luo, you're Chen Luo, aren't you? 2 billion purple crystals as a bounty. I won't be polite then. As he spoke, the two shattered the space around Chen Luo, boasting, he's just a space manipulator. Now that the space is shattered, let's see where you can escape. Chen Luo, somewhat exasperated, retorted, don't say I didn't give you a chance. Disappear from my sight right now, and I'll let you go as if you were just a fart. Otherwise, I'll rob your homes next. The two burst into laughter at this threat, mocking him, you know where our homes are? Such words might scare children. Besides, let's see if you can survive from our hands first. Chen Luo's face darkened with anger. Don't want the face I'm giving you, huh? Then, with a snap of his fingers, he made the two buffoons vanish from his sight, remarking, I may not beat you, but I can still make you bugger off. He then smiled and said, I remember there's a divine level directory amongst the items I confiscated from Third Prince. Go find the information of those two idiots. Mang Mang quickly started browsing the directory, and Nan Nan suggested, how about I change your appearance, master? It might avoid unnecessary troubles like before. In just half an hour, Nan Nan transformed Chen Luo into a young elf. Meanwhile, Mang Mang found detailed information about the two and handed it over, cautioning, even with the disguise, you shouldn't casually enter planets guarded by divine-level beings. They can detect each divine level's law, and you are the only one known to possess the void-walking law. You'll definitely be noticed. Chen Luo smiled slightly. Don't worry, I have my own clever plan. The wanted poster says I'm a divine level with 2 laws, right? I'll just show the other 2 laws for them to detect. With this, he headed straight to the planet where Master Norton was located, only to find that there was no one to receive him, and he needed to register himself. Chen Luo was utterly surprised to find over 30 divine-level powerhouses in the reception area. This business must be booming. Norton must have some proud creation on display. Once I figure it out, I'll teach him the meaning of free shopping. He mused. Just then, a long-haired man approached Chen Luo. Brother, you seem unfamiliar. I don't recall ever seeing you around here. Chen Luo responded with a grin, funny. I've never seen you either. You wouldn't happen to be Chen Luo in disguise, trying to sneak in, would you? This remark immediately drew the attention of everyone in the reception area to the long-haired man, scaring him considerably. He quickly shouted, one can eat anything, but words should not be spoken carelessly. It can kill. You know. Are you trying to get me killed? Chen Luo shook his head. This kid's too faint-hearted. After the joke, the long-haired man respectfully said, Brother, what I meant was that you seem new here. Possibly a newly ascended divine level. Let's get to know each other. Chen Luo smiled slyly. Indeed, I've ascended not long ago. Just over a year. The long-haired man proudly responded, I've been a god for over 200 years. My name is Ker Juad, the 6th in my family. Chen Luo asked, my name is Wam Lenge. How long have you been queuing here? How long would it take to get the armor now? Care Juad replied with a bitter smile, I arrived quite early. It should take me about 50 or 60 years to get my turn. Brother Wham, you've arrived late. At this rate, it's probably 100 years wait from now. Upon hearing about the long wait, Chen Luo quickly asked, can I just buy a ready-made armor? Money is not an issue. I just want to skip the line. Care Juad's eyes lit up and he eagerly said, Wham Lenge, do you have any lucrative ideas? Take your brother along. Chen Luo didn't mince words. The path I'm on is a bit wild. Not really suitable for you. Just tell me if it's possible to buy ready-made armor with money. Care Juad replied, money doesn't really work here. Have you heard of the space-manipulating powerhouse Time Trace? I've seen him come here. He offered 3 times the usual price, but still had to wait 10 years. Brother Wham, even if you have more money, could you outspend Time Trace? Chen Luo's spirits plummeted, as this was not what he expected. I thought there would be at least a dozen sets in stock. Turns out everything is made to order. How am I supposed to get anything for free? Thinking over his options, Chen Luo contemplated kidnapping Master Norton, but then asked Care Juad about the number of laws Norton possessed. Upon hearing it was 3, he realized that kidnapping might be more challenging than anticipated. Maybe I should bring Rama metal to Master Norton. If I have the material, maybe it won't take long to craft the armor. Care Juad then slapped his forehead and said, right, Brother Wham. If you're looking to buy armor at a high price, there might be a chance. A few days ago, the Volsci Empire announced that their millennial auction is coming up. All sorts of treasures will be available there. If you're looking to buy ready-made armor, you might want to check out the auction. Upon hearing about the grand auction, Chen Luo's mind raced with wicked thoughts. Such a grand auction will surely have lots of good stuff. If I could sweep it all up. Just the thought is delightful. Could this be the opportunity Rice mentioned? But before Chen Luo could fully relish his fantasy, Care Juad doused his excitement, reminding him, I forgot to tell you. The Volsci Empire is very far from here. It would take at least 5 months to get there by flight. Unless you can get Time Trace to create a space tunnel for you. Chen Luo smirked, dismissing the concern. Time Trace? His understanding of spatial teleportation probably isn't as advanced as mine. I've decided, I'm going to that auction. If I can get my hands on a set of armor, I'll be unstoppable. His gaze then shifted to Norton's work area, where Norton was visibly irritated while crafting equipment. A female dwarf approached him saying, Elder, you have a call from Caroline. You really should take it. At Caroline's mention, Norton's eyes flashed with anger, and he shouted, stop nagging. I haven't had a good night's sleep in over 100 years making this armor, and you're still rushing me? I quit. Find someone else to bother. However, when Caroline spoke from the communicator, her voice seemed to carry a compelling charm. I'm not contacting you to rush you, just to check on the progress. Norton replied, defensively, don't think I don't know you're trying to hypnotize me again. Only the helmet is left to finish. You want to use your old tricks to make me work faster, huh? In a fit of rage, he overturned his work table. You really think I'm that easygoing? I'm not crafting it anymore. I'd like to see what you can do about it. He then grabbed a bottle of strong liquor, gulping it down before staggering out of the workshop. Seeing Norton's condition, an elderly man with a white beard hurriedly approached him, attempting to flatter. Master Norton, I've long admired you. You really resemble my father. Norton, reeking of alcohol, cursed. All of you, get lost. I'm not taking any orders for the next 1,000 years. Go wherever you like, just don't bother me here. Upon hearing this, the white-bearded old man immediately turned sour and said, Master Norton, I have been waiting for 30 years. It's almost my turn now. You say you quit just like that. Isn't that a bit inappropriate? Norton slammed the wine bottle on the ground and roared, You have a problem with me quitting? Do you want to be wanted? Someone, report his information to the Empire. Put him on the blacklist so he can never find work again. Norton then turned and left. Only the incompetent wait here. A bunch of trash, neither rich nor strong. Chen Luo was secretly astonished at this scene. It seems the arrogance and hot temper of the dwarf race really do run in their blood. Seeing Norton about to leave, Chen Luo hurriedly came forward with a flattering smile. Master Norton, please wait. I have a piece of Rama metal here. Might you consider doing me a favor? However, Master Norton paid no heed. Seeing this, Chen Luo didn't dilly-dally and quickly took out a bottle of fine wine he had snatched from the third prince. This is specially offered to you. Don't you want to have a taste? Hearing there was fine wine, Norton immediately stopped in his tracks. What good wine can a nobody like you have? But when he saw the wine handed over, his eyes lit up. No way. Could this be blue flower drunk? Norden grabbed the bottle of blue flower drunk and downed it in one go. Chen Luo, without any hesitation, quickly handed over another bottle. Norden lecherously smiled. Not bad. Kid, you've got taste. Come in and have a few drinks with me then. Hearing this, Chen Luo was overjoyed and hurriedly asked again if Norden could help craft some armor for him. At this, Norden's face changed. Are you deaf or has your brain been kicked by a donkey? Didn't you hear me say I won't work for 1,000 years? Can't you understand human speech? Norden kept pointing at Chen Luo's nose and cursing. Are you brain damaged? Trying to get me drunk to trick me into working for you? You underestimate my capacity for drink. But the next moment, the old man sleazily inquired if there was any more blue flower drunk, asking if he could have another bottle. His face-changing skill was truly unparalleled. Upon hearing this, Chen Luo immediately said, if you agree to craft the armor for me, not only will there be enough wine, but I also have 30 million purple crystals as a token of my gratitude for your hard work. As he spoke, Chen Luo handed over 2 more bottles of blue flower drunk. Taking the bottles, Norden muttered, 30 million purple crystals and you think you can get me to work when I'm not in the mood? Read my lips, get lost. At this, Chen Luo's face turned completely dark. Ungrateful, aren't you? When have I ever been treated with such disdain? Seeing Norden stagger forward, Chen Luo quickly went up to support him. Please, don't fall. Let me help you rest. Norden, with a flushed face, chuckled stupidly. Even after I curse at you, you don't leave. You really are thick-skinned. Hearing this, Chen Luo immediately feigned concern. Master, please calm down. It was all my fault for being inconsiderate in mentioning work when you were not in the mood. As he spoke, Chen Luo's hand moved towards Norden's spatial ring. Under the influence of alcohol, Norden's eyelids were already fighting a losing battle. In a swift motion, Chen Luo gently pulled off Norden's spatial ring. Norden, drunk and unresponsive, didn't realize what had happened immediately. Seeing his chance, Chen Luo quickly said, you should rest now. I won't disturb you any longer. Then 2 people replaced him in supporting Norden and escorted him to his room. But just then, Norden, almost instinctively, felt for his spatial ring and found it missing. The shock sobered him up instantly. The armor of Caroline and all his belongings were in that ring. Norden then roared, it was that lad. Everyone, heed my command. Seal the city. He rushed to the reception area and shouted, where's the lad who helped me earlier? Did anyone see him? That damn thief stole my spatial ring. As soon as these words were spoken, everyone naturally looked towards Kairjuad, and they began to say, that lad is closest to him. Hearing this, Kairjuad's bladder nearly gave out in fear, and he quickly clarified, I'm not close to him. I only know his name is Wanlingui. He thought to himself, no wonder that lad said his way of making money was wild, daring to even steal from Master Norden. Meanwhile, Chen Luo had already fled to the Happy Planet, ordering a table full of delicious food at a cloud restaurant to celebrate. Although he found the armor he had been longing for in Norden's ring, it was unfortunately pink, which disappointed him. A grown man wearing pink armor was too embarrassing. He resolved to find a way to change its color. Simultaneously, Albert, a commander of the Volsea Empire, also arrived on Happy Planet. Just as he landed, alarms sounded. A divine-level individual with unidentified status had entered Happy Planet, and no data was detected on him. Hearing the alarm, Albert's face showed a hint of amusement. Could it be that audacious Chen Luo? I should check it out. Soon, Albert approached Chen Luo and said with a smile, excuse me, due to a recent fugitive issue, to avoid any misunderstandings, could you please show your law for inspection? Annoyed, Chen Luo responded, can't you see I'm eating? Can't it wait until I'm finished? Albert grinned, sir, I have reason to suspect your identity. Please cooperate with my inspection. With no expression, Chen Luo stood up and said, you're quite bothersome. Then, giving Albert a look, in the next second, under everyone's gaze, Albert disappeared on the spot. This terrified the onlookers, who began to shout, this guy must be the wanted criminal. No doubt about it. No sooner had the words left his mouth, Chen Luo waved his hand grandly, instantly transporting everyone in the restaurant thousands of miles away. Realizing the situation had escalated to this point, and that returning to this restaurant for a meal would be impossible, Chen Luo decided to take the entire cloud restaurant with him. When Albert made his way back to Happy Planet, he found the entire building had vanished, which greatly alarmed him. He quickly contacted the third prince using his communicator. After learning about the situation on Happy Planet, the third prince was certain that this was undoubtedly Chen Luo's doing. Having experienced a similar theft himself, he immediately contacted Black Spirit, instructing him to use a teleportation array to quickly travel near Happy Planet and assassinate Chen Luo. With all expenses covered by the third prince, Black Spirit chuckled, "Just wait for my good news. As soon as I find him, that lad is as good as dead." To ensure nothing went wrong, the third prince also contacted a space element powerhouse, respectfully saying, "Uncle Yunchuang, it's been a long time since we last spoke. Just wanted to say hello. Are you free right now?" Yunchuang responded immediately, "Cut the crap and tell me what you want. I'm in the middle of comprehending law." Hearing this, the third prince quickly responded with a smile. "Haven't you mastered the 8th law of space, void-walking, yet?" Yunchuang sighed, "I've mastered the other 7 laws of the space element, but I still can't grasp void-walking. By the way, do you still have any enlightenment tea left? Give some to your uncle." When enlightenment tea was mentioned, the third prince knelt down immediately and said with a grin, "Although I don't have any enlightenment tea, I can help you master void-walking law." At this, Yunchuang eagerly asked how. The third prince explained, "A space element genius has recently emerged. He became a deity just over a year ago and has already mastered the void-walking law and spatial teleportation law. This lad also possesses a time element crystal. If we join forces to kill him, the time element will be mine and the space element will be yours. How about it?" Upon hearing this, Yunchuang immediately agreed to the deal. "I'll also attend the auction you're hosting. I'll come to you then. If you are completely sure about Chen Luo's location, you can call me in advance." The third prince quickly expressed his agreement. "Then it's happily decided." At that moment, Yunchuang spoke gravely. "I heard the Draymond Empire found a mysterious cave emitting the aura of destruction law. Is this true or not?" The third prince replied with a bitter smile. "Indeed, it's true. Black Spirit was actually the first to discover it. He rashly went in wearing his armor and came out barely alive after just a few seconds. His armor was destroyed and now that place is guarded by the Draymond Empire. There's nothing I can do. It's their territory. I suspect the destruction law, which has been missing for many epochs, is located there." After ending the communication, Yunchuang pondered for a moment. "That lad is truly a genius. His talent is unprecedented. It's a pity, really. I genuinely want to master void-walking, or else I'd really like to keep him to strengthen our space element faction." At the same time, elsewhere, Chen Luo brought the Cloud Restaurant to a deserted planet. This frightened the restaurant staff considerably. Chen Luo gave a slight smile and reassured them, "Don't worry, I'm not a bad person. As long as you work honestly for me, I'll increase your salary tenfold." Saying this, he took out a card reader and showed the balance in the account, which brought tears of excitement to the corners of the mouths of the onlookers. Then, Chen Luo approached the proprietress and asked, "What's your name?" The lady, known as Bai Menchi, immediately responded, "I'm Bai Menchi, the daughter of one of the restaurant owners who was not favored. I'm usually in charge of managing the restaurant and making various beverages and alcoholic drinks." Upon hearing this, Chen Luo quickly inquired if she could make a drink called Hilbodo. Bai Menchi timidly nodded in affirmation. Chen Luo then asked, "Do you know who grows enlightenment tea?" Bai Menchi informed him, "Yes, I know. It's grown by a nature expert named Eugene." This excited Chen Luo immensely, and he eagerly exclaimed, "Then do you know where he lives?" Bai Menchi almost panicked, thinking to herself, "Why is he so excited? He's not planning to rob them, is he?" She shook her head and said, "I don't know, but my father certainly does. How about you let me go, and I'll ask him for you?" Chen Luo, not being foolish, urged her to call her father right away. However, after trying numerous calls with no answer, it became apparent that her father really didn't favor her. But just then, Rice suddenly reminded Chen Luo, "It's time for you to go out and explore. Don't just hide in space. You must visit some important planets." Caught off guard, Chen Luo stood frozen for a moment, thinking, "I was planning to make a big move at the auction before going out to stir things up. But if Rice is suggesting this, then there must be some advantage in it for me." Rice playfully added, "Be careful, though. You might get hurt this time. I suggest it's better to get a little injured. It makes the fish easier to catch." After finishing her statement, Rice directly pushed Chen Luo out of the space. At this moment, Chen Luo was a bit stunned, but resolved to visit his friends Richard and Sentai on the Happy Planet. The sudden visit frightened both of them. Richard, feeling resigned, said, "Why didn't you hide? Now that you've brazenly shown up on the planet we're guarding, we have no choice but to take action against you. Chen Luo, with a grin, responded, I understand. It's your duty after all. Let me help you out then. With that, he used a void banishment technique to send them miles away. However, at that moment, Albert appeared in full armor, causing the ground to tremble and space itself to crack. He coldly said, last time, you escaped by luck with a sneaky attack. This time, let's see where you can run with the space breaking apart. Chen Luo, smiling disdainfully, just you, but suddenly sensed another murderous presence nearby. He instinctively prepared to use void walking to escape, but then remembered Raya's advice that getting injured might be beneficial. Right then, a dark shadow struck like lightning, stabbing him with a sword. Fortunately, the blow wasn't fatal. Albert, witnessing this, exclaimed in surprise, Black Spirit, how is it you? Are you healed from such severe injuries so quickly? Hearing this, Chen Luo immediately thought of leading Black Spirit to a secluded place. He dramatically spewed a 2-meter-high spurt of blood and exclaimed, you despicable sneak, resorting to a surprise attack. Upon hearing this, Black Spirit immediately showed a smug look of triumph and said, today is your day to die. Chen Luo then hurriedly took out 3 vitality restoration pills and stuffed them into his mouth. Seeing this, Black Spirit immediately gloated, it seems my sword earlier did quite a number on you. Otherwise, why would you gobble down 3 pills at once? Chen Luo then immediately vanished from the spot with a void walk, much to Albert's dismay. Didn't I shatter the space? How did he manage to use void walk? How can we catch him now? Black Spirit was quick to pursue, sneering as he did so. When I ambushed him earlier, I infused a strand of law power into his body. No matter where that kid flees, I can track him down. Seeing Albert following, Black Spirit quickly said, I alone am enough to deal with him. You don't have the ability to hide, and being spotted by him will only make him run faster. Hearing this, Albert nodded. Then I wish you good luck. Soon, Black Spirit caught up to the panting Chen Luo by following the scent of law. Delighted at the sight, Black Spirit thought, it seems this kid can't use void walk continuously anymore. Let's see where you can run today. But just then, Chen Luo's breath suddenly steadied, and he stared at Black Spirit with a sinister smile, like he was sizing up prey. Feeling a chill down his spine, Black Spirit couldn't help but feel a trace of fear. Shouldn't he be the one afraid of me? How has it turned around? Thinking this, Black Spirit immediately swung his sword fiercely at him. Chen Luo sneered and instantly used Void Walk to appear behind him, immediately casting time reversal on him. Black Spirit turned around, bewildered, looking at Chen Luo. If you can still use Void Walk, why don't you run? Saying this, Black Spirit erupted with a terrifying pressure, and immediately struck him with dark abilities. Chen Luo did not retreat, but continued to cast time reversal on Black Spirit. In the next moment, 2 defensive laws appeared around him, blocking all of Black Spirit's attacks. This scared Black Spirit quite a bit. How do you have defensive laws? And damn, 2 of them. Aren't you only supposed to have the laws of Void Walk and spatial teleportation? Regaining his composure, Black Spirit looked at Chen Luo as if seeing a ghost. You actually have 4 laws. Were you pretending earlier? Hearing this, Chen Luo sneered dismissively. Surprised or not, unexpected, Black Spirit swallowed hard. You've grasped 4 laws in less than 2 years. I must say, your talent is incredible. But what of it? Without a single offensive law, I might not be able to do anything to you right now. But what can you do to me? Without a word, Black Spirit turned and fled, muttering to himself, I must bring this news back to the third prince. Seeing him attempting to escape, Chen Luo laughed. Did I say you could leave? With a wave of his hand, Black Spirit found himself bewilderedly back to where he started, which scared him considerably. Void Walk can be applied to others as well? Seems like escaping won't be so easy. With a grim face, Black Spirit said, What do you want? I'm not even pursuing you anymore. What more do you want? Without a single offensive law, can you even hurt me? Chen Luo ignored him and continuously applied time reversal on him. But then, Black Spirit suddenly felt the laws within him resisting something while his body began to undergo some changes, the most noticeable being the rapid recovery of his previously depleted abilities. Meanwhile, Chen Luo looked at him with a face that seemed to be looking at a dead person. Suddenly, Black Spirit lunged at him again, only to feel intense pain spreading throughout his body the next moment, causing him to nearly lose control of his bladder and shout, What have you done to me? With a slight smile, Chen Luo responded, Guess? As soon as he finished speaking, wounds from half a month ago began to reappear on Black Spirit's body. Desperate, Black Spirit shouted, "How is this possible? The third prince said you have a time. Are you using time reversal on me? How have you mastered time reversal so quickly as a secondary transplant of the time series?" However, all he got in return was Chen Luo's cold, mocking laughter. Then, sparks mixed with lightning began to emerge around him and started eroding his body. Within just 2 minutes, Black Spirit collapsed on the ground. Unconscious, Chen Luo swiftly removed Black Spirit's spatial ring to prevent him from destroying it in a last-ditch effort. Observing the sparks and lightning emerging from Black Spirit, Chen Luo sensed a dangerous aura. He didn't have time to confirm, as Black Spirit was quickly killed by this mysterious force. Without hesitation, Chen Luo skillfully extracted the crystal from Black Spirit. Using time reversal on Black Spirit had given Chen Luo some insights into the technique, filling him with excitement. "I must seize this feeling and comprehend the law," he thought. Chen Luo immediately released Nan Nan and Mang Mang and anxiously instructed, "Mang Mang, quickly prepare the tea." Upon hearing this, the two sisters did not delay and soon brought over the brewed enlightenment tea. After taking a sip, Chen Luo immediately began to focus intently on understanding time reversal. As he repeatedly ran through the process in his mind, he soon grasped some intricacies of time reversal. About an hour later, the energy consumption of using time reversal had reduced by more than 50%. However, this did not elevate him to a divine level of mastery, which left him somewhat disappointed. Meanwhile, the third prince was trying to contact Black Spirit using a communicator, but after multiple attempts, there was no answer, and even the location signal was untraceable, which made him uneasy. Could that guy have entered an area with no signal, or is his communicator broken, he wondered. Unable to reach Black Spirit, the third prince called Albert to inquire about Black Spirit's status. Albert responded with resignation, "We were together trying to capture Chen Luo, but he found me bothersome and sent me away." Hearing this, the third prince could only end the call with a sense of resignation, thinking that Black Spirit must have entered some special area, which was why he couldn't be contacted. The idea of Black Spirit being killed by Chen Luo, who was without an offensive law, was instantly dismissed by the third prince as ludicrous, given Black Spirit's possession of 4 laws. At the same time, the aura of Thunder King underwent a significant change. Chen Luo's eyes brightened as he thought to himself, "This kid has finally reached the demigod level." However, he was still somewhat disappointed, considering that, apart from him, Thunder King was the one with the best talent on Blue Star, yet he hadn't achieved godhood immediately. Without any delay, Chen Luo handed over Malmer's crystal to Thunder King. Malmer's lightning abilities are similar to Thunder King's. Absorbing his crystal should help Thunder King in understanding the law. Unexpectedly, just at that moment, the 4 laws within Chen Luo's body suddenly left him and flew straight out of the special ability space. This scared Chen Luo considerably, prompting him to quickly chase after them, only to discover his 4 laws causing trouble. They even blocked the Thunder Law outside the door. At first, Chen Luo was stunned at the sight, but then he became overjoyed. "I knew it, the Thunder King has never been weaker than anyone in his life. How could he miss out on becoming a god here?" So, he hurriedly called out to the Thunder King. As soon as Thunder King appeared, the Thunder Law immediately flew to his side and began to transform his body. Surrounded by the roaring thunder, Thunder King looked like a god of thunder descending to the human world. Once the transformation was completed, Chen Luo rushed forward and clasped Thunder King's shoulder. "Today is a great day, we must have a couple of celebrate." However, before he could finish, Thunder King spoke in a low voice. "I've already decided. After becoming a god, I'll go out alone to train. Your current enemies are too strong, and even if you let me out, I wouldn't be a match for them. I'd only be a burden. I don't want to spend my life hiding in this special ability space without being able to help you." Hearing this, Chen Luo was stunned and at a loss for words. He wanted to consult Rice about what would happen if Thunder King went out on his own, but was stopped by Thunder King. "Why ask her? Fate is predestined, and wealth is in the heavens. This is my choice, and no one can change it. Don't worry, I'm just going out to train." At this, Chen Luo, flustered, handed over Norton's armor and 2 purple crystal cards to Thunder King, who refused them. "You may owe a debt to the dog, but the dog doesn't want to owe you too much." Helpless, Chen Luo had to accept Thunder King's decision. "If you're in danger, Rice will give a warning. Going there to help you is just a matter of teleportation for me." Meanwhile, in another place, Norton contacted Caroline, saying, "You should look for someone else. It's not that I don't want to make armor for you, but my space ring was stolen by a scoundrel named Wan Lengi. Your armor is inside that ring. If you can, find that thief yourself and stop calling me to bother me about it." Caroline was stunned by this news. But just then, an elderly voice came from behind her. "Caroline, you're quite punctual. Every time it's nearly time to harvest the Enlightenment tea, you always come early." Caroline responded with a slight smile. "Who might this be with you?" Eugene introduced, "This is my adopted son from Blue Star. His name is Yuri. You've come at the right time. He's also a psychic. Maybe you can teach him when you're free." Caroline was shocked to hear this, thinking to herself how much Yuri resembled Eugene's missing son, which is probably why he was adopted. In agitation, Caroline explained, "Uncle Eugene, it's not that I'm unwilling to teach him, but I have more important things to do right now. The armor I asked Norton to make was stolen by someone named Wan Lengi. I need to get my armor back." Eugene acknowledged the unrest, mentioning, "Things seem to be a bit unsettled lately. Not too long ago, the third prince's house was also robbed by someone named Chen Luo. These people are really bold." Yuri was stunned upon hearing this, thinking to himself, "Wow, Chen Luo, the leader of Dawn City, you've actually made it to the stars. No doubt, the two people Uncle and Caroline are talking about must be you." At that moment, a marquis from the Volsea Empire suddenly approached Eugene. "The task you entrusted to me last time has been completed." Yuri was shocked at the resemblance between himself and the newcomer, wondering, "Why does this person look so much like me?" Then, the marquis spoke solemnly, "While I couldn't find your son, I did find his descendant. This is your grandson, Yuan." This made Eugene extremely happy, quickly moving forward and excitedly grabbing Yuan's hand, incessantly saying, "My dear grandson, you suffered." This moment made Yuri feel a hint of unease, thinking to himself, "Now that the adoptive father has found his direct bloodline, this is definitely not good news for me." Meanwhile, elsewhere, Chen Luo was inquiring Bai Minchi, "Why doesn't tonight's dinner include my favorite fiery cloud steak?" Bai Minchi informed him, "The fiery cloud steak is all out. How about I go out and buy some more?" Hearing this, Chen Luo chuckled and said, "No need to trouble yourself. I'll be faster. Just give me the supplier's address." But Bai Minchi replied, "Only I can acquire such ingredients. However, I know another steakhouse that features fiery cloud steak as their specialty. They surely have a lot in stock. This place is on Happy Planet, not far from my cloud dining restaurant. You can go there to buy some." At that very moment, Albert was dining at this restaurant with his wife and daughter. Suddenly, he heard a familiar voice, "Where's your manager? Call him out for me." Turning his head, he saw Chen Luo and thought to himself, "Isn't this guy supposed to be chased by Black Spirit? How did he end up here all of a sudden?" The approaching waiter also recognized this person as Chen Luo, which scared him immensely. He hurriedly shouted, "Lord Albert, save me." Upon hearing this, Albert's bladder shuddered as he nearly wet himself, muttering under his breath, "Damn, I really should be thanking you." The man simply ordered a steak at the restaurant, but this ended up causing a divine level with 5 law abilities to break out in a cold sweat. It turned out the man was a notoriously vicious wanted criminal, and Albert was the captain in charge of capturing him. Since today was his daughter Alice's birthday, he had brought his wife and daughter to dine at this restaurant. Worried that the young man might harm his family, Albert chose to turn a blind eye. Just then, a waiter suddenly shouted, "Aren't you Chen Luo, the one wanted by the Empire? Captain Albert, quickly capture this criminal." Upon hearing this, Chen Luo immediately spotted Albert dining. Under normal circumstances, Albert would not fear Chen Luo. But with his wife and daughter present, he was completely panicked. However, Chen Luo regarded Albert as his benefactor. Without him, Chen Luo would have never known that Black Spirit was injured. Thinking of this, Chen Luo hurriedly greeted him, "Hi, Captain Albert." This scared the waiter, who urgently yelled, "Captain Albert, quickly arrest him." Chen Luo ignored this and casually pulled over a chair to sit down. The next second, he exiled the troublesome waiter to the bar and then looked at Albert playfully. "I heard you've been constantly looking for me. Isn't it enough already?" Albert hurriedly explained, "You are a thief. I am a soldier. Isn't it my duty to find you? If you leave now, I'll pretend I didn't see you." Chen Luo waved his hand dismissively. "That's not enough. I want you to pretend you don't see me whenever you do in the future. Can you do that?" After a moment of silence, Albert spoke deliberately, "Yes. Just as he finished speaking, 4 divine levels from Happy Planet, who were stationed nearby, rushed into the restaurant. To their surprise, they found Chen Luo sitting at a table with their captain. Seeing them, Chen Luo quickly gave Albert a signal. Without hesitation, Albert ordered, "You all back off." The others looked at each other in confusion, then protested, "Chen Luo is still here. We came after receiving the restaurant's report. It's not proper to just leave like this." Albert's expression turned cold. "Don't you understand what I'm saying?" With that, they reluctantly left the restaurant. Then Albert said sternly, "I've agreed to your request. Can you leave now? I haven't eaten yet." "Since when do you chase a guest away before they've finished eating?" Saying this, Chen Luo forked over Alice's steak and quickly devoured it. Seeing Alice's tearful eyes, Chen Luo hurriedly explained, "This is for your own good, my dear. I'm afraid you'll get fat." At this, Albert said impatiently, "Now that you've eaten, what more do you want? And where's Black Spirit?" Chen Luo smiled slightly. "Ah, Black Spirit. He encountered a mysterious black hole while chasing me. I threw him into it, and then he just disappeared." Albert realized, so he entered the black devouring star. No wonder the third prince can't contact him. Chen Luo chuckled, "I'm satisfied with your attitude. Answer me one question, and I'll leave. Tell me where Eugene lives." As soon as Albert heard this, he guessed what Chen Luo was planning and quickly tried to dissuade him. "Eugene is not a small fry. Let me tell you, right now, it's only the third prince's power chasing you. But if you steal from Eugene's home, not only will the entire Volsea Empire pursue you with all its might, but many bigwigs who are on good terms with Eugene will also come after you." But Chen Luo was undeterred. "Don't worry about me, just give me the address. Don't try to fool me. You know what I'm capable of. Stealing from someone's house is just a matter of spatial teleportation for me." Seeing how obstinate Chen Luo was, Albert had no choice but to tell him Eugene's address. Chen Luo was a man of his word and immediately stood up, saying, "Then I won't disturb your meal any longer.